Yeah, but it will be interesting because this is a kid that is struggling to get in the team. While he was arguably, the best player of the league at one point?
Yeah.
One of the best players at Leicester's team. Of course, he will be motivated to, to show, why did I leave? And this is what you're missing. So sometimes the manager wants to use that momentum to play against your older side.
You put Mahrez in, but you keep him out, Ian.
I would keep him out because I play Leroy Sané because I think that Leroy Sané, especially now, he's not played as many games as he'd like to play. We've seen that in big games. He shows up as well. He really does show up. Scored a good goal, the winning goal against Liverpool, which is vitally important. And I just think that for me, I just think he gives more.
Pep likes Sané from the bench, though, doesn't he?
He does at the moment. I don't think Sané would like Sané from the bench. But it's something that
I don't think anybody would like himself
but,
from the bench.
I personally think that Leicester would be happier if it was someone like Mahrez. They know him better, but Sané would be a whole different kind of ball game for them to deal with, and that's why I would play Sané.
Is the one player that Leicester don't want to see on the Man City team sheet Sergio Aguero?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because you see in that moment against Burnley, and if the league is decided and it just carries on that's not right. Somewhere along the line, it doesn't feel right to me. Maybe it's because I've tipped Liverpool, but that is why the goal, bringing in the goal line to clear those is magnificent.
Right.
But he is that guy. He will score the winning goal.
That's one goal, and it only just went in, but the other 19 have been pretty emphatic. And this is the fifth season we've been talking about all week that he's reached 20 goals for a season.
But
unbelievable.
Just playing against a player like that, you understand? You know that this anytime. Look, sometimes you can play against a striker, and Righty was that kind of striker. They could be in the game, and like you have him like 20 minutes. 30 minutes in. Oh, halftime comes, you're like, oh, I got him. And then game carries on. 10 minutes before the end, a player like Aguero will score and can score a goal.
His energy. David James, for example, here this week was saying it's his stumpy legs that make him so difficult to defend against because they move so quickly.
One thing is for sure, and this is probably a great question to ask Righty. Aren't you guys built just to always score? It doesn't matter what time. You will always want to score.
Well, the thing with him as well is you look at him, he's in the right place to score. And it's not a coincidence. And when he gets in those areas, he'll hit the target. He's not afraid in the moments to be great. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's somebody that makes the great movements in the... Like even the goal, when he set it up for Foden the other week, that is the kind of experience. He's in that position where he head it across, Foden scores a goal. He's the person that when the big goal comes, James, he'll take it.
Right, and of course, scorer, one of the most famous late Premier League goals.
Yeah, I mean, he's the hero already.
Absolutely.
All right. Man City manager Pep Guardiola is currently holding his pre-game press conference. Let's hear what he's been saying.
He show up every game, and he has shown during these 3 years being together. I think every year is getting better on the pitch. So it's not words, it's facts. It's like the politicians, no? The real ones is the facts, not the words. Everybody talk perfectly, but what they do really, honestly. And Raheem doing every single game, so that's why he deserves all my respects, what he has done, and he's playing, but still, like, as I said many times, he's still young, really young. And if he has the desire to get him better, to improve his stats, and he understands his own game, he can help his mates, so he will be a better player. That is what we want to do.
I've done this as a bit of a quiz. I didn't tell you who Pep was talking about. Can you guess?
Kind of right. Raheem Sterling.
Yes. Absolutely spot on.
Well, the thing about it is that, young player of the year, and he was in the running for the Players' Player of the Year. And if he continues to improve like he has done, and he will do, and then it's not going to be long before he gets the major honour in respect of the Player of the Year, because he has been, for me, their star player this season, without a doubt. You mentioned De Bruyne not playing. Obviously, Fernandinho is somebody else who's very key. We've seen Aguero still doing what he does, but it's the continuous emergence of Raheem Sterling and his form, especially in big games, what's really propelled City to where they are.
Mario, I know you're in the UK and then you're abroad quite a lot, so I'm not sure how much you've been aware of the way that the kind of public perception, certainly the press perception of Raheem Sterling has changed over the last 9 months, a year. Has he come on a huge amount as a player, as a leader within this team, or is it just the way that people view him?
No, I mean, like, away from I like actually what Pep said, because away from him being the guy that maybe is more vocal, He uses his platforms really well, you understand, on the social side of making sure that he's being heard, and just his point of view, and making sometimes people aware of the reality that's happening. And I think he did that really, really well, and I'm really complimenting him on that. But on the other shift, it's also his ability. You know, when he made that move to going to City, people were like sometimes questioning.
Yeah.
But his shift has been so well and so good that people are like, now, for me, arguably the best English player right now. If you
He's
look
the best English player right now.
at this moment,
what is it that he's done compared to the Raheem that we saw at Liverpool?
I'll tell you. Okay, he had everything already going for him. He had the speed and the ability. But when you have speed and ability only, that's not good enough. You also need the intelligence. And the intelligence of the game. Are you capable to read the game in the sense of like, where do I need to stand? Where do I need to receive the ball? And where do I can make my other players way more powerful and better? And I think that's what's good. And how can I take the pressure off of the people like Aguero, that all the goals are focused on him? How about I take some pressure away from him and I start scoring my own goals, and now I become the guy that's the first or the second on the starting 11 list. When my coach put the names on the list, I want to be the first or the second. I don't want to be lower than that. And that's what he has created for himself.
I tell you what else you see as well, James, is the way he now receives the ball, his body. He's already mentioned how Pep has told him how even the shape, the way your body's turned in respect to the ball coming, with his pace and the way he can take it, improve his touch, improve his final delivery. And then the fact that not only you add to that once he receives the ball, he's away from people, but he's continuous getting into the box. He gets into the box regularly, in the middle of the box, scoring goals. And now that he's got the taste for the goals now, you will not stop him now. You won't stop him.
Well, Monday night he'll be facing the man who, of course, launched him in the Liverpool first team, Brendan.
So impressive. But then again, so was Maddison, and you saw Jamie Vardy still, like, he's got so much energy in his legs. And the experience of, like I say, the Leicester team, who's going to probably get a lot of backing in the summer. When you've got Chilwell and, like I say, Ricardo, I think they do need a centre-half, a really good centre-half. Don't know who they're going to go for, but they're not a million miles away from a team that, if teams like Arsenal and Chelsea and Man United continue to play like they've played this season in respects of their inconsistency, Leicester will probably start to be right on their coattails because they've got everything.
It's interesting, because they've been up there before. And, you know, yesterday was the 3-year anniversary of Leicester winning that extraordinary Premier League crown. How far do you think they are away from really knocking on the doors of the top 4?
It's the consistency. You know, it's because he came into the season maybe on the second half, and the changes that he has made to get this team to a settled stage, because also they were changing too much. You understand? They have great talents, like Righty already highlighted Chilwell. I'm a fan of him because I like the way he attacks the game, the way he reads the game. The only thing sometimes maybe defensively he maybe, you understand, needs to, you know, sharpen a little bit up. But center of the park, you know, like in the back line, I feel like they're very strong as well, you know, with Maguire. Evans has enough experience, you understand, coming in there. So they have experience. Now it comes to a point, how are you going to hold on to your players? Because Maguire, people are watching. Right. Chilwell, people are watching. Tielemans, you don't know if he's going to sign on to. You see, now we're calling already 3 players. This is a whole different thing. If you're looking at a top team like a Liverpool or a Man City, it's different looking at 3 players that might be making a move because they have enough to fill the gap. But if you look at a Leicester, it's going to be a bigger loss. So that's why, for me, it just will be how many players will stay on and how many players might be making a move. Because if there is one coach that can hold on to Tielemans, because there's a lot of teams are watching him, it will be Rodgers that might be able the way he wants to play, and then Tielemans could be one of his crucial players.
You think that Rodgers could be one of the factors in Tielemans' decision then?
Yes, I think so, because the way he is playing the game that he wants to play right now, and that happened when Rodgers became the coach.
Of course, Leicester's such an attractive place to be that big players have turned down moves away in the past. Jamie Vardy, who after their title-winning season, Arsenal were in for, and he said, no, thank you very much. Yeah,
and it seems to be at the moment, especially the fact that he won the Premier League at Leicester. It seems to be a good decision for him. When you look at where the teams are at this particular time, especially talking about Arsenal, are they going to have money in the summer? Are they going to be able to strengthen? Because what I saw Leicester do to them last week was quite harrowing, if I'm going to be totally honest. And so he made the right decision in that respect. But the fact is, someone like Jamie Vardy, he's still got a lot of energy, and he's got a manager that really knows that he's the focal point.
Yeah, and he's absolutely deadly against sides like Man City. When you look at the most goals scored, well, there you have it. Since 2014-15, against the top 6 sides, Jamie
See?
Vardy ahead of even Sergio Aguero.
That's another sign. That's another ominous sign there.
But you know the reason because of that. Because the way Leicester is set is if you play against the top teams, they are always in control of the game. They have the ball. So the counter-attack is always on. What is Vardy's biggest strength is receiving the ball behind the back line.
Right.
So the bigger the space you give away behind your line, the stronger you make him.
So you fancy Vardy's chances on Monday night at the Etihad?
Yeah, with the space that will be available for him to sprint into, you know, to receive the ball, will be a big opportunity.
He's 7-7 at the moment as well?
Yeah, and also Leicester have already beaten Man City once this season back at the King Power.
This is a team that Manchester City will be afraid of, very much so, because they've got every reason to be afraid of them.
Right. Huge game this for City. Big as well for Leicester, who are trying to hang on to 7th place and get into the Europa League. And what an extraordinary achievement that would be in a campaign, in a season that's seen tragedy at the King Power. Of course, the club losing their owner. It's just been magnificent, and it continues to be so under Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, no, definitely. But also the point that I just made about the space when you jumped on Vardy. Look at what Rashford did to the back line of City. He gave them a lot of trouble because that's the way, at that time, you understand, we don't want to get too much into Man U, but when Man U played like that, it was really that space behind it. And I think Vardy is identical. He will be looking for that space too. He'll be looking at the back line. How deep are they? You know, if you look at Company, at that time, you understand, if he's straight on and he doesn't move his body open, when he's straight on like that,